I'm in my 60s now. But from the age of 22, just a young man, I came across some writings from India. These were writings about Bhakti Yoga, the way of love, Karma Yoga, the way of action, Gyan Yoga, the way of wisdom. Talked about the nature of the self, of our divine potential. And it was phrased in such a way that I'd never heard this kind of thing in all my life, though I grew up and was educated in New Zealand. So I determined this philosophy of the East, this philosophy of the Vedas and the Gita, the Ramayana and so on, the yoga wisdom, I thought I have to go to India, live at grassroots level and find out for myself the veracity, the benefit, the truth of this knowledge. And when I went to India, I had the great fortune to meet a legendary master, Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Maharaj. And he invited me, he said, stay here, stay with me in my ashram in rural India between Lucknow and Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh, the poorest state of India. Stay here, learn. Here I was in an ashram surrounded by peasant villages of mud houses and thatched roofs, of bullocks and cows pulling wooden plows to till the fields, of beautiful young children with bright eyes, so beautiful smile. What a place to be. And my spiritual master, my Guruji, said, okay, I want you to study 12 hours a day. Get up very early. I'll teach you personally since you don't know anything. And this is how it unfolded. Such a simple life. I get up early in the morning, about 2:30, fill up a bucket of water, and then put a heating rod, about 1500 watts kind of thing, into a bucket of water and wait for the water to heat up. Then take a plastic little handle cup and pour the water over my head and soap up and then rinse off. Go and sit with the master as he taught me Sanskrit, Hindi, meditation, the philosophies of the Vedas, Gita, and so on. I did this over a few years. Then, in 1987, he said, right, I want you to give a practice talk. I'm going to give you a spiritual name and the robes of a Swami. On that day, I sat before like 1,000 Indians. Of course, the Indian community are well versed in English, but back then in the early 1980s, not so much. So here was a sea of Indians, and he said, his name is Swami Govindananda. So I sat there, it was so hot, sweat running down my forehead, and gave my very first talk. And of course I received these robes. Well, by 1989, he said, you've completed your study. Swami Pracharak is another term, means the one who lives the ideal life. So he said, you go back to the West now. In fact, spread to the four corners of the earth this knowledge that I am giving you. You go and you share it. Show people how to overcome their anger, their grief, their jealousy, their frustration, their lack of self-value. Open up their hearts and minds to joy and beauty, the essence of love itself. Go and show them how to do it through knowledge and meditation. And that's what I'm doing. I consider it a great honor and a privilege to be able to share it with you. And I really humbly ask of you, if you do want to improve yourself, come closer, study, learn the knowledge, and see for yourself the benefits that will come your way. So a Swami is one who's dedicated his life to spiritual understanding and experience. A Swamini is the feminine nature, who's exactly the same, but they are female. Some teach and some don't. Some live a renunciant life in an ashram or a hermitage somewhere, and others are out on the front of society, sitting in halls and centers, giving talks and sharing and being accessible. This was the work that my Shri Maharaji entrusted to me. Govindananda, as he would say to me, off you go.